My wife Emily had been glowing with excitement all week about her birthday party. Friends, co-workers, and family gathered at a beautiful rooftop venue overlooking the city. I had planned everything, the decorations, the catering, even a surprise slideshow celebrating our years together. As the night grew warmer and laughter filled the air, I felt grateful to be her husband. When the band shifted into a slow, romantic song, I walked toward her with a smile. She looked stunning, radiant, confident, and effortless. I gently placed my hands on her waist and leaned in to kiss her, wanting to show her how much she meant to me. But in that exact moment, her eyes flicked over my shoulder, widened slightly, and she instantly pulled away from me as my touch burned her. I froze, confused, my heart stumbling. The music continued, but everything around me suddenly felt wrong. Emily stepped back, smoothing her dress, her eyes darting nervously. Then I noticed what she had seen. Her ex, Daniel, was standing near the bar with a drink in his hand. He wasn't invited. I knew that immediately. Emily had insisted she didn't want anything to do with him anymore. Yet the way her face lit up almost involuntarily told a different story. Guests turned, noticing the tension. A few whispered. I tried to ignore the sting and ask quietly, "What's going on?" Emily forced a smile, the kind someone wears when caught off guard. Nothing. I just didn't expect him to be here. But her reaction wasn't the shock of an unexpected guest. It was something deeper, something guilty. Daniel raised his glass toward her with a smirk, and Emily quickly looked away, shaking. That single glance between them revealed more than words ever could. I tried to salvage the moment, but Emily was suddenly cold and distant, brushing me off every time I reached for her hand. She barely looked at me, yet she kept glancing toward Daniel like gravity was pulling her in his direction. My frustration simmered, but I stayed composed. Then it happened. Someone jokingly encouraged us to kiss for a photo. Before I could even react, Emily snapped, "Not right now." Loud enough for half the party to hear. Gasps rippled through the crowd. She looked mortified, but not because she had hurt me, because her ex was watching. My chest tightened with humiliation. That's when Daniel stepped closer with a smug smile and said, "Maybe she's not in the mood, man." The entire room went silent. Emily didn't defend me. She didn't correct him. She just froze like she didn't know whose side she was on. I looked at her, waiting, hoping for her to stand up for our marriage. But she stayed silent. Something inside me snapped, not in anger, but in clarity. I stepped back and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Emily, if you don't want to be kissed by your husband at your own birthday party, maybe we should talk," she stammered. "Not here, please." Daniel chuckled. That was enough. Suddenly, Emily's best friend, Sarah, stormed across the room and confronted him. "Why are you here?" "Emily blocked you for a reason," she shouted. Daniel shrugged arrogantly. "She didn't seem blocked last week when she called me." The crowd erupted with murmurs. Emily's face drained of all color. Her hands shook. I stared at her in disbelief as the truth unfolded. She had been in contact with him behind my back. Emily tried to deny it, her voice trembling. "He's lying." I didn't, but Sarah cut her off. "Emily, I saw the call logs on your phone when you left it in my car. You talked to him for almost an hour." The room gasped as Emily's secret unraveled. Daniel folded his arms smugly, enjoying the chaos he'd ignited. Emily finally broke down, whispering, "It wasn't like that. I just needed closure." I shook my head. Closure doesn't make you pull away from your husband in front of everyone. Tears welled in her eyes, but sympathy had already left the room. People stared, some shocked, others disappointed. The perfect birthday she had dreamed of had turned into a storm she created herself. And the worst part was she knew it. I walked toward the exit, needing air, needing space, but Emily chased after me, grabbing my arm, sobbing, "Please don't leave. I didn't want this to happen." I turned slowly. "You didn't want it to happen, but you invited it," You kept him close, closer than you kept me." She shook her head desperately, trying to explain, trying to undo an entire night's worth of damage. But the truth was written all over her face. Her guilt wasn't about the party falling apart. It was about the fact that I had finally seen what she'd been hiding. The music had stopped, conversations paused, and whispers filled the air like smoke. Emily's birthday had become a spectacle, a raw display of misplaced feelings, unresolved attachments, and a marriage breaking in real time. Before I could respond, Daniel boldly stepped forward. "Hey, Emily, if he's making a big deal out of nothing, you can come with me. I'll take you home." That sentence was the spark that ignited the explosion. Emily's father, who had been quiet in the corner, suddenly stormed across the room and grabbed Daniel by the collar. "Get out!" he roared. Guests rushed to separate them. Emily's mother burst into tears. Someone knocked over the cake in the chaos. Glass shattered somewhere near the bar. The entire party fell into complete disarray. Emily collapsed to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably, screaming at Daniel to leave and begging me not to walk away. But the damage was done. The truth was out. The party had blown apart because of a single moment when she chose her past over her present. I finally stepped outside, breathing in the cool night air, my heart heavy but strangely calm. Emily stumbled after me, mascara running down her cheeks, her voice breaking as she whispered, "Please don't give up on us." I looked at her for a long moment. "Emily, you didn't pull away from a kiss. You pulled away from our marriage." Her knees buckled, and she covered her face, sobbing. Guests filtered outside, stunned by everything they had witnessed. I didn't yell. I didn't make a scene. I simply walked to my car and said quietly, "Well, talk when I'm ready." She cried out my name as I drove away, her birthday party collapsing behind her like a house of cards. She thought one moment wouldn't matter, but that moment exposed everything, and it shattered her world more than she ever expected.